Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lavender Sky Panther. Today is Sunday, November 8th, 2020. And today's topic is called Rim Watching 2. It's a collection of images and sky observations happening November 2nd through the 8th, 2020. And before we get going with the greetings, I just want to let you know I am recording this outside during a tropical storm. I'm in a safe shelter, but I'm going to make this really fast so I can get this show out. And so if you hear the wind picking up, that's what's going on. I do wish everybody who's in the path of this thing, who has been and who might be, complete safety and, from the storm. And if you've already gone through it and were hard hit, I pray that you have a quick recovery and all is well. So best wishes to everybody out there. Okay, so for now, let's say good day, osio, hao, buongiorno, guten tag, kia ora, jambo, buenos dias, bonjour, ni hao, dzień dobry, konnichiwa, dobrohonia, annyeonghaseyo, boa tarde, dobry den, aloha winala, galimera, and guten dag. Now, the starter image today is of a 1960s concrete outdoor dragon statue, and it's actually a companion statue to the one featured on the starter page of the previous show, Sky Candy. Now, I'm saying good, bad, balanced, question mark, because I'm talking here about, I just want to bring up a little point about dragons, and people who are open to the idea of dragons and the ET community. My understanding of dragons is that this is like a representation of one of the ancient ones, kind of like all-knowing wisdom, here to serve, to balance, and bring good things to the world and dimensions. I'm not talking about alpha Draconians or Reptilians here. So those are different animal together, let's just say. It's my understanding, talking to a lot of people about this, that alpha Draconians are actually a reptilian form that is kind of like a dragon wannabe. And that really can't happen because in order to be the dragon, you have to be balanced. And apparently the reptilian class that calls itself Alpha Draco is not balanced. It operates in extremes of negativity or positivity. So just like people, there are any range of positive and negative ones with the reptilians. That's my understanding anyway. So if this is totally foreign to you, just put on your earmuffs, but that's for people who are open-minded to that type of stuff. So let's get going with these sky observations. Alright, so this is just called Rim Watching. These are photos featured in my previous show called Sky Candy. I wanted to bring them up here now, compiled on one page, just because it really was pretty fascinating the more I thought about it. I kind of had them in the second half of the previous show, but this is pretty darn fascinating. So in looking at the silhouette or the rims of the clouds in the morning, this was in a sunrise, I captured these things. So I didn't really realize this, though, until I started editing and selecting photos for the show. I just saw that it was an interesting character of the rim, so to speak. But the more I looked, I'm like, wow, we've got something amazing going on here. So at first, there's a clear elliptical form, and these things had like a little bit of a spectrum, like a rainbow edge around them. And then this one came out, so it's got a little bit of a plasma, looks like, behind it with a definite shape. And then look at this shape; it's yet again different. And I don't think it's just morphing. I think that's 3 different light body craft, or I'm not sure if it's some other type of interdimensional craft, or even a 3D craft with some very interesting cloak on it. I don't know. Leave that to you to see and feel that out for yourselves, what you think that is. Then we had this kind of disc forming at the top. Again, another shape. Looks like that's pitched downward with something happening here. And this looks like the front, kind of emerging and like jettisoning off this cloud platform here. So again, see what you think is going on there. But we're going to look at Sieg. It starts to get very interesting. We look at it with a little more enhancement on the photo. And when I say enhanced photo, I simply mean I edited the attributes of a photo, such as color, saturation, brightness, contrast, things of that nature, just to pull out and highlight some things that we don't normally see just with the typical snapshot of it. So here we go. Here's that disk, 8.1. Just means we're like either zooming in or changing the enhancement a little bit more, or both. So in this case, I'm just playing around with the enhancement. And look at this. So when we had that perfect disk before, sorry, I'm trying to get my cursor. Now we can see a little subtlety of some kind of plasma or something, reaching down below this thing. And then the next one, we just kind of have a little bit of an aura around it. C.1 gets interesting because look at this. It looks like cloaking material plasma with a triangle in there. It looks very interesting. You can still see the character of the outline of that thing. D1, nothing so extraordinary, comes out with a contrast. And again, this is more like the outlines of these things here. But we see like a little plasma or something floating off there. So do look at the previous show if you want to see more detail. This is just playing around with these things in a different way. So now we're going to look at C2. And look at this. We get the clear profile of this craft, calling that like the cockpit or the viewing port portion, out toward the bow of this thing. We have a clear line and a clear vertical line. So I'm saying that is cloaking craft, or maybe it's not even cloaking. Maybe it's just a light body, or it cloaks itself with light reflection. I'm not sure. Again, see what you think. All right, this is called Cloaking Objects at Sunset. I've got A, B, and C. A, we go to 8.1 with more enhancement, we see a triangle. B, again, there's a triangle hiding in there. And C, it's a darker, body of some sort with some cloaking material. Now, I'm looking at this bright white area. This is like an ethereal white light that appears. It looks like a soft white LED almost. Whenever there's cloaking craft popping in or out, I think when it's showing up is what I can tell through what I've been observing so far over the last couple of years. But anyway, down here too looks like it's cloaking craft. This looks like it has two points on it that are symmetrical with a roundish body. But again, see what you think with all of this. Alright, this is called Low Heavy Cloud Blanket at Sunrise. The lower is the original photo, upper is with some more enhancement. So what caught my attention here was these like 2 points. And then this is like a perfect dome. So I thought, let me zoom in and see what's going on. So 8.1, we're doing that. Again, looks like a perfect dome with some other kind of engineered structure next to it and something happening here. And then B1, we see some points and we see some structure happening. So we're going to look even further at A2. And here we go. Here's that dome. It holds up, even though I've really blown out the brightness and the contrast on this. I now see like a very regularized structure. This looks like, an arm here, and a line here. Looks very designed, intelligently designed, as does this dome now, with the piece here. This almost looks like a whale with like a tail, and it looks like we have dimension and structure happening here and a cloaking veil, definitely. And here too, looks more like a triangular shape that this is attached to each other. And then down here, B.2, we see again these points, and it looks like there's cloaking material over to me. But see what you see in here. Oh, and if you have any interesting or like fantastical wild ideas, just for fun, let me know in the comment section below on any of this. Alright, this is plain as day chemtrail, north to south horizon. It is what it is. You look at it. This was happening, from the north, and it spanned overhead and went behind me all the way to the south, and it lingered in the air forever. So it was not in any way, shape, or form a condensation trail, which dissipates pretty much, within a few minutes. Here, 8.1 is zooming in, looking at the character of this trail. It's weird. It kind of does a loop-de-loop, has some interesting character to it. And I'm not sure if this is some type of cloaking craft activity happening around. Seems to be a lot of disturbance. Could also be nothing, but see what you think. Alright, this is called Artificial Tower Puddle Cloud. That's the name I kind of coined, a phrase for these. They pop up vertically in a tower out of, nowhere, totally out of the blue, and then they puddle outward toward the top, almost like pouring a glass of water on the pavement, and you see it pooling and puddling out. And yeah, they happen local on the spot, right around sunset time in the west horizon, always in a key vantage point of watching the sun go down. So I covered this extensively on other shows, and given the wild nature of the storm around me right now, I'm going to not talk about it anymore, but just do see some previous shows where I cover that. For now, we're going to look at A and 8.1. So A, I just noticed some corners, some right angles. I know that's odd. We should not see right angles and rectangular, rectilinear things, or triangular, or things like that in the sky with the clouds. That isn't tech of some type, but here we go. It looks like a rectangular or square form. So we're going to look at 8.2. We're going to take out the color, see if we can see anything better with that enhancement. And sure enough, we still see some right angles. This little bright white piece is brighter white than anything else around it. So that tells me that might be a little craft with a little trail behind it as well. But see what you think. This is called Rectangular Cloud Silhouette at Sunset. Here's another case at a different time of like a pillow shape, a rectangular shape. We look at 8.1 above, we still have it, and I blow out the contrast and brightness even more, and it still holds its shape. So what that is exactly, I'm not sure, but again, I venture to say it's got to be some type of cloaking craft or some type of tech up in the sky. This is called Strange Clouds on Angle Pointed Ellipse Craft. So here we go, we have these odd shapes that are parallel to each other on angle, an extreme angle, actually, not like a typical cloud form. There's also something strange happening here too. Anyway, we're looking at 8.1 with more enhancement, and here you go. I see a pointed ellipse, and actually it looks like the shadow of one, or maybe it's a double pointed ellipse overlaid one over the other, and it looks like a trail is happening here. So I'm calling this overall thing a cloaking craft. Now what's weird is look at this. It's extremely dark, and the cloud right next to it has the warmer color signature. And there's some bright white points here too, which show me that's got to be some type of cloaking craft or object. But again, see what you think there. But we're going to go enhance it a little bit further, and I sketch overlaid just so you can see clearly what I'm calling that pointed ellipse with a little trail behind it. This is called out Clouds red-pink signature east at sunset. So on the left, to the naked eye, I could detect a little bit of pink in the sky, and the more you practice and look and tune your eyes to it, you start to see it. And then we've got strange clouds below. So to the right with enhancement, there we go. That's that reddish pink signature. Again, these camera phones have such a wide range of photosensitivity that our eyes don't pick up so much on the electromagnetic wave spectrum or on the color spectrum, but yet the cameras do. So here we go. That's where it's happening. I'm not sure what's causing it or why, although I do exactly anyway. I have some ideas, and if you look at my description box below, you will see there's a host of theories of what could be happening here causing that red pink. So do have a look there, and please do have a look at sky and earth watching channels all over the world and see what they're presenting too with direct observation evidence. All right, we're going to zoom in on those weird clouds below. So it's a little fuzzy. I couldn't get quite a grip on it with the camera, but we're going to take what we've got and enhance it further. And I'm just calling out A and B and A.1, B.1 because here there's some shadow and some definite looks like design structure to it. And here too, these little points have some dimension to them, like spherical. And the fact that they're bright white, once again, amidst darker gray color. And there's like a little point here too with some shadow like a sphere. Tells me there's something going on that more than meets the eye here behind this cloud, let's just say cover. Looks like there could be a cloaking craft in here as well, and up here because we get a ridge with some brighter white points behind some cloaking material. This is called Strange Clouds, southeast at sunrise. On the left is the original, and the other ones start to be enhanced photos. So we're going to look at A and B as areas of interest. This caught my attention because, again, it's really bright white amidst some darker cloud material. And here it just seemed like something might be going on where B is. So put some more enhancement. I still don't see anything at B.1, but I do see something at A.1. Starts to look like structure, definitely structure and patterning in there, so we're going to take a look. Now up here, sorry, instead of B.1, it should say B.2. Coming here with some more enhancement, we start to see a triangle pop up. You can't see it right here, but with more contrast and stuff, there it is. And again, as far as I know, no triangles form in nature in the clouds. So it's got to be cloaking craft or some type of sensor or, again, advanced tech of some type in the sky. A.2, we're looking here. There we go. It starts to look circular here, like it has definite design to it, intelligent design. Then we go to A.3, and here we go. It looks like a pentagram. It looks faceted. And so that's like a true pentagram. It's got shadow in there. So I think we're just seeing a piece of a craft emerging there. And again, it's on such a sharp angle. That's also a giveaway that's not a normal cloud forming. All right, this is called Layered Clouds, southeast at sunrise. The left is the original, the right's enhanced. We're going to look at area A on this. I couldn't really pull out anything more other than this looks cool that this cloud is highlighted, although there could be something cloaking in there, but I couldn't really get to it any better to be sure. But A starts to look like an ethereal thing popping up, or interdimensional craft perhaps. Started to have a little bit of a sphere shape to it, and these like two prongs coming out. So I did go to A.1 with more contrast, and there you see it looks like structure, it looks like symmetrical. So I'm calling that a cloaking craft. Again, I'm not sure if it's interdimensional or cloaking in a way I don't understand. See what you think. This is called Cloaking Craft at Sunrise. We're going to look, it gets real interesting on this one. We're going to look at some enhancements. This is a craft, I'm calling it, with a trail behind it. And this is also probably some type of cloaking object. So here we go. A.1, look at that. So we got a more solid, form of one type, which I'm calling a cloaking craft. And then this looks like a more like a vapor trail behind it. We go to A.2, you still see that. So I think that's the front of the craft is here. And then A.3, I just put more enhancement, and you do see the shape of what could definitely be a craft that has intelligent design to it. But see what you think. This is another example, Cloaking Craft at Sunrise. This just had its own distinct shape, very triangular in nature. So we're going to look at that with some enhancement. And here we go. Definitely I see a craft cloaking with cloaking material around it. And we go to A.2, and it still holds its shape, even though I've really enhanced it quite a bit. Now B.1 I called out too. I'm going to go back a second. You can see it here. And then we're going to go to B.1. This looks like it's reflecting off of something, or it has its own light. But that's definitely like a kite shape, inverted kite shape. And I'm going to call that a cloaking craft as well. There's a lot more happening in this photo. Do have, take a look on your own time and look all around it. I think you're going to find some pretty exciting stuff, especially here on the rim. It starts to look like some self-illuminating things happening here, which could also be craft. I mean, just all over the place in this photo, there's a lot going on. This could be something interdimensional. This looks like it has a hard, shape to it as here as well, with some cloaking material in front of it. But see what you can find. Actually, yeah, this one looks like it's popping up off of this cloud. See what you think. All right, Cloaking Craft, left and right is left is original, right is the enhanced version. This is just pointing out, look at this, it's triangular. This is a triangular shape. There's no way you can say it's not. Because look at that edge and this edge. I'm not sure what's happening down here, but look at even the character. It's a much darker color than this bluer sky. Something's going on here for sure. All right, this is called Strange Cloud Forms and Potential Cloaking Craft. Just look at this overall really bizarre cloud form. To me, this is completely artificial in its genesis. And look, we're going to focus on area A. Got a lot of weird staccato cloud, which I like to call it, which is this choppy cloud, which to me shows there's electromagnetic wave activity of some type happening, generating above to create this. Is that craft up there cloaking, and that's causing it? That's what I think it is. See what you think. We've got this weird thing, this weird trail popping out this way, and these weird forms here, which we're going to look at next. We're putting more contrast and just see, like, what is this trail, in this angle. Got more of this staccato stuff, tells me that's cloaking craft here as well. And what's this? I mean, it's just all kinds of strange in this photo. And then here again, we've got these weird shapes. So let's take a look at those. How do you have a rhombus shape next to this kind of shape, symmetrical, with these two little prong things coming out? To me, this has to be individual craft, cloaking. There's just, it's got a little bit of wave structure to it. But see what you think. Here we go, a slightly later time, but a same look at this overall, let me just say thing, artificial assembly. And here we've got, again, that staccato cloud I talk about. Put more enhancement down here on it. And this even looks like an object with dimension and shadow to it. Just all kinds of strange as well. I'm going to come in on this right side just to kind of zoom in on that and focus on that. Not only does it have this weird character to it, which again I think has to be a cloaking craft, generating electromagnetic wave activity up there, but also you start to see like a pinkish hue here as well. So with a little more contrast, when we're going to see, a little more pink. Now I actually thought that pink was glowing beyond, but that's actually even coming in front. So I think that's part of whatever cloaking process is happening, is generating that warm signature, but I'm not sure. All right, well, this is the closing photo of the show, and it's just of a clear quartz. It's a pendant, and quartz is considered a master healer crystal that amplifies energy, and it can amplify the energy of the crystals around it as well, and it has a ton of health benefits. I'm not going to go into them now. I invite you to just do some research and have a look at what it can do. Let me just say it's no accident that when we talk about quartz movement and clocks and watches, we're talking about quartz. So have a look and have fun with it. In the meantime, I want to thank you for hanging around here a while, and I wish you a beautiful week ahead. And again, if you're in the path of the storm happening right now on the Atlantic, heading back over toward the Gulf, best wishes and prayers for total protection for everybody. And that actually extends out to the world too, protection for all other kinds of reasons. Wish you highest vibes, tremendous peace. Lavender Sky Panther, bye.